Hello, my Teaserking family. I apologize. I was just adjusting for the lights. How is everybody? I hope all is well. Um, I'm going to review the first week of the playoffs, and we're going to look at the lines for this week of the playoffs. Let's see, what do we got? So this week we got 3.5, 47. Green Bay is 6, was 5.5. 47. Kansas City is down to 1.5 from 3, and 54.5. And Tampa Bay is 3 and 48.5. So it's interesting how some lines are 47, some lines are 48. So it's funny how they set the line. Oh, we'll make this 47. It shows you how they just use statistics. Hey, Andrew, how are you today? You're sledding in Canada? Well, hope you're okay. I know it's cold. It's cold everywhere. But anyway, good to have you here. So let's look at last week. We had 6 games. So we nailed the over on the Oakland-Cincy game, as it should. A lot of field goals in that game. That score should have been like easily in the 60s. It ends 45. Fortunately, we're 43, so we get a W there. That was the Georgia under with Oakland overlock, so that was good. Buffalo, New England. New England looks like they've never played football before. Bill Belichick was terrible. I'm sure his defensive coordinator will get a new job because look how good a defensive coordinator he is. How does you let Buffalo 47-17? So I lose that was a lock under 50, and Buffalo gets 47. How in the world does that happen? I mean, you need to blitz Josh Allen. Very simple, yet they don't do it. So it just made no sense what they were doing. They were throwing the ball way too much, interceptions. You've got to run and ball control Buffalo, and they didn't do it. Tampa, Philly, you had Tampa. The line went to 7 with the injuries. I said, I don't care because Brady's playing. So I had Tampa -1 and 2 teasers. They win. The over was 47. I like the over also at 41. It comes in at 46. So a double winner there, Tampa -1. I knew Tampa was going to beat Philadelphia, and Brady normally puts up 30-some points, so you usually get the over. Frisco, Dallas, another big winner, another upset. Frisco 23, Dallas 17. I have the Niners and 2 teasers +9 and the under. So I do very well there. The Niners were a good dog. Dallas is not that good of a team. I love Kellen Moore. I loved him as a quarterback at Boise. He made me a ton of money. Very clutch. So I don't know what happens, but what the hell is Prescott doing at the end of the game? What the hell is Garoppolo doing? You got a 23-10 lead, and the guy's throwing an interception. Why are you in the ball? This is Mike Shanahan's problem. He doesn't quite understand. Run the clock out, but run smart plays. That should have been like a rollout, hit the tight end for 5 yards. Instead, the guy's throwing the ball 15 yards downfield, throws it high, gets intercepted. What are you doing? You got the game won 23-6 or 20. It was like you have the game won. Just don't turn it over. And what does he do? He turns it over. I mean, the dumbest coach I've ever seen, this Shanahan. I mean, he blew the Super Bowl with Atlanta, and then he blew the Super Bowl with Kansas. So he gets to the Super Bowl, but then he chokes and he doesn't quite get it. Was top play San Francisco? No, the top play was Oakland over, and then Arizona and Buffalo were my locks. But I did love Frisco. It was a very strong play, and so was Tampa. Pitt, KC, I have Pitt in 18.5, very small. I didn't trust them. Their defense looked atrocious. This Tomlin's got to go. He was pathetic. Kansas City steamrolled them again, 42-21, but I really only lost by 3, even though Pittsburgh must have dropped 20 passes. I don't get the receivers on Pittsburgh. They're not even like high school kids. High school kids wouldn't drop all those passes. And so I don't understand how Pitt won so many games with this bad of receivers is that how do they pick up these receivers? Go to fucking Texas Tech or Baylor, Oklahoma, and pick up receivers. What are you doing with these guys? So they lost by 21. I had 18 and a half, so it was closer than when I was 35-7. I'm turning it off to watch Money Heist. I'm going, well, and then I see the final and go, oh, lost by a field goal. I had over 46 in the game, so 63. It definitely went over. And then the last game was Arizona. Arizona was a strong road dog. Stafford never won a playoff game. I took Arizona in 10. They don't show up. Murray is starting to remind me of Lamar Jackson. You blitz him, he gets nervous. He throws these stupid interceptions. What is he doing? Why are you throwing out of your own end zone? I don't understand these coaches. They throw out of their own end zone. Just run the ball and punt, play field position, live to fight another day. And you give LA, it's 14-0. You give them a free touchdown. And, so 24-11's 13. It's closer. We still don't win, but it's closer. I do have the under 55.5 because both defenses were good. So, again, if looking at the defensive play, Oakland since season over because Oakland's a bad defense. New England Buffalo is an under because they both have strong defenses, but Buffalo kept scoring. Philly Tampa, average defenses, you had a high-scoring game. Frisco Dallas, good defenses, you did have a low-scoring game. Pitt KC, you had two decent defenses, but you had a high-scoring game. And Oakland and LA and Arizona, two good defenses, and you did have a low-scoring game. So the only game that surprised me was Arizona. Oakland over should have been higher. Buffalo, I played the over-under. I didn't trust. I know people here said, should I take New England in 10? And I did not agree with that. I don't know. So it was a big emotional win for Buffalo. Let's see what they do against KC. Now we come to week 2, and you're going to look at it and you go, here's Buffalo. Buffalo's not at home against New England. They are at Kansas City, a team that they do not play well against, although they did beat them on the Monday night, but they lost in the playoffs terribly last year, and Casey's going to blitz them because that's how you beat Allen. So superficially, you're like, wow, Buffalo's a dog, but in realistic terms, they're not at home playing New England. They're at Kansas City. And I was also surprised it was 6 below that they scored every time they had the ball. They scored 47 points. What was that? New England shouldn't have been bothered by the cold. So I don't really get that. Tampa's Tampa with Brady. As long as Brady's there, just sees money. Frisco played well. Garoppolo's, I guess, injured a little, but I don't know. I can't imagine him not playing. It's all running with the guy. And I love the guy from Louisiana Lafayette. Now, I know he's a good running back because I follow Louisiana Lafayette. And they're all like, oh, where did they get this guy from? And I'm like, it's Louisiana Lafayette. They got a great offense. What are you talking about? He's definitely a good running. Look, why are you surprised he's a good running back? It's like getting a guy from App State or getting the quarterback from Liberty. I mean, these guys are good. Like, if you would watch the games, you would see they're good players. Excuse me. So anyway, will Buffalo be flat this week is the key question. Big emotional win. Oakland, Miami, 1974. Here come the Steelers. Buffalo, New England, big emotional win. Now they go to Kansas City. Who's waiting for them? They did not have an emotional win. They killed a weak Pittsburgh team. And that's what you got to realize when you start having the number 2 seeds play and then you've made 7 teams come in. You didn't have 6 good teams in a conference, not 7. So if we look at the worst team, Philadelphia gets killed by Tampa. Pittsburgh gets killed by Kansas City. So it's not hard. Playoff football, you can bet a little bit more the home team, and you got to be selective in the dogs. You got to have Tom Brady as the dog because the home teams in the playoff games usually do well. That's why I'm very impressed with Frisco, and that's about it. Arizona laid an egg. So Kyler Murray, is he really that good? All I can do is think of this customer I have who's saying, look at the eye test. Arizona's playing the Bears. look at the eye test. They're going to kill him, And I'm like, oh yeah, let's look at the eye test. Arizona against the Rams, eye test, my ass. So will Buffalo be flat? Cincinnati won't. Tennessee, I don't think's that good. Tampa Bay, business as usual. Frisco got the big upset against Dallas. I don't think they'll be flat. Kansas City, I think they're going to be looking at Buffalo. And the Rams had a big win against Arizona, probably emotional. Stafford finally won. Will they be a little flat against Tampa, or they'll just not be able to stop? Will they not be able to stop Tom Brady? Which probably not. So let's look at it. Tennessee 3.5, 47. I already went through the line. I'll do it again. Green Bay 6.5, 47.5. KC 1.5, 54.5. Tampa Bay 3, 48.5. And again, when I look at the defenses, the best defense is Buffalo at 17. Most of these teams, Cincy's 22, Tennessee 21, Frisco 22, Green Bay 22, KC 21, Tampa 21, the Rams 20. They're all like low 20s, except for Buffalo, which is a 17. So you don't really have a Georgia defense to worry about, which means most of these games probably go over. Cincinnati, Tennessee. Cincinnati had a lot of injuries. Now, how serious were the injuries and their defensive line and linebackers? We'll see. I'm assuming Henry plays. Tennessee, Cincinnati. So let's look at the game. No line. I think it's a dog game. I think Cincinnati at 9.5. I think even if they get down, Burrow and Chase can get them back into it. I don't like Tannehill. Yes, Henry, of course, you got to worry about. But now, here's where they were stupid. Playing him not to get hurt in the last regular season when they needed it to be the 1 seed, he doesn't have the stamina, right? So he hasn't played in 2 months. You didn't play him the last week. Last week was a bye, so for 2 weeks, nobody's playing. So I really like Cincinnati 9.5. First of all, I don't think Tennessee's a 1 seed. I think they just got lucky. Kansas City had some losing, and Buffalo lost to Jacksonville. So I just think Tennessee's a good team. I don't see a difference in Tennessee, Cincinnati. I like the dog. Probably an over also. Tennessee's a good defense, but you're not going to stop Burrow. And again, down to 41 is 21-20. I got to believe with Cincinnati is at least a 45-point game when they play. I mean, they were 45 with the Raiders kicking 100 field goals. But again, you need 41. I definitely like that game over also. Green Bay, Frisco. You got to love Aaron Rodgers. 47.5. You got to love the over there. So again, it's an over game. Now where you would normally like the Niners, now you've got the injury. We beat Dallas. Can San Francisco with Garoppolo go into Green Bay and beat Rodgers? And I don't see how. Again, with the spread 6, you got even. I think even. I don't think Green Bay gets upset. I don't think Frisco has the defense, but I do like Frisco's offense. And they're going to run the ball down their throat like they did in the last 2 playoff games when they ran for like 8,000 yards and they beat Green Bay because they couldn't stop the run. Frisco's going to do that again. So you've got to be aware of that. I don't honestly see a scenario here where I think Green Bay wins. I think Frisco is a live dog. Let's look at the game. Pick the score. Frisco, Green Bay, 27-20, and Frisco could win. Green Bay probably wins with Rodgers. Again, coming off the bye, they're rested but rusty. Frisco with a big win in Dallas. They will not be flat here. I can see Frisco. I can see this game definitely being a high-scoring one because Rodgers, if he gets down, he's just going to light it up. They both can run, but I think again 41. You're not holding Rodgers under 28. And you're not holding the Niners under 28 with this defense. Buffalo, KC. Give me a score. uh, 31-30 maybe. I don't know. I mean, can Buffalo score on Kansas City? They did on the Monday night game, but now KC's defense is back. Um, 54 is an awful high number to go over in a playoff game. They're just tighter. You know, Mahomes isn't playing Pittsburgh, and Josh Allen is not playing New England, and they're not at home. So now you're asking Buffalo to go on the road and win a playoff game against Kansas fucking City. And the line at 1.5, if it goes much lower, it's almost the Kansas City at home. Take Kansas City. Normally this would be a dog. I have KC laying 3, but I just see it. I see like a 31-30. I think you get into at least high 20s. 28-24 is 52. Gets you over. It's probably an over, but you just don't know if Buffalo, will they blitz Allen like they did last time, and then just he won't be able to run. He can't, he's a decent passer. But I don't want my quarterback running all over the place, doing sweeps and what the hell? Who's calling the plays there, man? You want to get the guy injured or what? Hey, Nick, Raiders got robbed on that whistle call. I don't think so. They get screwed every time in the playoffs. Ended up playing Tampa Bay to win it all, plus 550. Very good value with Brady, in my opinion. Yeah, they got a few of the injuries, but yeah, I mean, you can, as long as Brady's playing, they've proven they can beat Green Bay. Obviously, they can beat the Niners, the Rams, Stanford on the road can't beat a 500 team with the Lions. I haven't gotten to that game yet, but I'm not taking LA in 9. I don't like LA that much with Stafford. The 550, I think, is a good bet. I don't think the Raiders got robbed because I think his foot was down. He threw the pass. It's in the air. It's already nobody stopped till he caught the ball. So to say, well, they stopped or they would have intercepted, I didn't see that. Just at the time he was catching, it's when the whistle blew. The guy was beat. I don't buy that. I don't think they got robbed by the whistle. They got robbed by idiot coaching, kicking 18 field goals instead of scoring touchdowns, instead of running Jacobs. And then they got screwed. If you want to blame the rest, blame the holding penalties. They had 5 penalties, so every time they got close, they got the holding penalty. That's where they got screwed, not the whistle, but the refs calling holding penalties that they were not holding. So that's how you tell who the refs bet on is who starts getting the pass interference and the holdings. And then you look at it, and then the announcers kill me. Well, yeah, he had his shoulder. They're going to call that every time. What do you think? They never call it. What are you talking about? And it's not holding. And the lineman's got him grabbing the shirt. This is holding, but if I got you by the shoulders, it ain't holding. So I really don't understand that at all. Anyway, Buffalo KC should be a high scoring. I don't know, but you got a good defense in Buffalo, so I'm a little leery to go over. And then, like I said, KC is not playing Pitt, and Pitt had a lot of wide open receivers that just couldn't catch. Can Allen throw the ball is the good question. And then is Allen going to try to run? I imagine KC is going to blitz him and get him in the backfield like they did last year. And then they're going to be like, how do we, he's our whole offense. Now what do we do? So I don't really like Buffalo's offensive coordinator at all. They scored 47 on New England. This ain't New England. This is Kansas City, who does have their number. KC is going to be really hard to beat. Now, I said they'd be kind of down this year early on, the jet lag of going to 2 Super Bowls. But now, championship game in Kansas City, they're going to be extremely hard to beat. And I'm not sure Buffalo is the type of team that can beat them. You need a really good – they have a decent defense, Buffalo. I'll give them that. But, again, they lost to Jacksonville, Miami, the Jets. I mean – they had the softest schedule. They lost to Pittsburgh. They lost to Indy. They lost to Tennessee. I don't know how good Buffalo is. Yes, they look great against New England, but they're not at home and they're not playing New England. And that's the key to betting. You've got to take this hand. Buffalo, Kansas City. And does Kansas City have the defense to stop them? They certainly have the coordinator, Spagnuolo. They certainly know how to stop them. They did it last year. So my money's still on Kansas City here. Probably if I'm getting 4.5, if it goes down to even, I'm taking Kansas City, unless there's some injury that I don't know about. Mahomes, Hill, somebody that I got to check the injury on. But right now, and it's really like you got to break a leg to not play in a championship game. And the last is LA Tampa. Tampa's a 3-point favorite, 48.5. As you saw, Tampa didn't just spy Hurts. They brought up safeties, cornerbacks. They lived in the backfield. And they're going to get Stafford rattled. They're going to blitz him. He's going to hit happy feet, throw his little interceptions. I like Tampa by at least 10 points in this game. I'd say 30-20. Because he's not going to go on the road. They don't really have the running. Sony Michel's good, but he's not great. But it won't matter. Tampa, Brady. What Brady does is control the game. He's not going to throw the interception in the end zone like Murray did. Murray couldn't complete a pass. He was scared to death. Tampa's at home. It's Tom Brady. He's not going to be, he's going to control the game. Rams will be behind. Stafford will get blitzed and fall apart like he always does, and he hasn't beaten a good team on the road in his whole career. So take Tampa. Definitely like Tampa +3 there. Very good. Nick, you're right about taking the teams that get all the penalties. Another reason why I always take Brady in big games. He will get the call. Well, absolutely. Now it becomes who's going to get the call in the Green Bay game, and it's going to be who gets the call in the is Buffalo going to get the calls at Kansas City? So they want Kansas City, Tampa, Green Bay in the Super Bowl. So they're going to probably get the calls. Can the Niners? I think the Niners are going to run it down their throats. And they got good running, and I think they can, and they've proven that in the playoffs. So this will be very interesting. The Niners, I think, I think Cincinnati can get the upset, and the Niners, I think, could get the upset. I think KC win and Tampa for sure win. That's probably the easiest. Tampa laying 3 to the Rams because the Rams look good against Kyler Murray, but you're playing Tom freaking Brady. And so you got to remember, where's the game? Who's playing? You're playing Tampa. This is not Kyler Murray in his second playoff game. Buffalo, KC. KC will pressure Allen. He's one-dimensional. They'll figure him out. Green Bay and the Niners, that's the game that probably going to be close. It's tough to stop Rodgers. I agree. And the Niners are good. They're decent defense. It's just them running the ball. Dak Prescott is not very good. See, when I say that, everybody, he's not. He's look at him. Where was he? And then what was that play at the end? He runs for 15, 18 yards. Dude, you need a touchdown. There's only 14 seconds left. You need to get out of bounds and do a Hail Mary. You cannot run up the middle and then slide and think you have time to – you can't get all the yardage you wanted, right? You could have went up 10 yards, slid at that point. But you got to hand the ball to the ref. You don't put it down. The ref's like, hey, I got to touch it. Now you built this wall. The ref's got to go around it. If you would have just given the ball to the ref, you might have had 1 second left to do your Hail Mary, but the play call was terrible. It made no sense. The Niners made no sense with their play calling at the end. Shanahan's is such an idiot, again, with the interception and then what he did at the end of the game. And then their defense. What the fuck kind of I don't understand. No timeouts. You guard this. You don't let the guys run out of bounds. You stop them. Let them run in the middle all day. They got no timeouts. Let them run for 10 yards and you tackle them. And that's it. And then the clock runs and runs and runs. You can't let them get out of bounds. I don't understand these idiot coaches anymore. They let the guys get out of bounds. They let the Hail Marys come. They let let's go for it on 4th down. You're not seeing a lot of let's go for it on 4th downs unless the team like Dallas had to do it because they were down, but they didn't even get the fourth down on their last drive. So, I mean, that's what you see now is a little more what you should see. Normal, let's play field position. I'm not going to go for it in my own 20. You're not going to see anybody go for it on their own 20, 4th and 1, unless it's the end of the game and they got to do it. Mahomes will always get the call. Mahomes is a bit of a crybaby. Well, they're all crybabies. I mean, but he's a winner, so he won a Super Bowl. That's why he gets the calls, just like Tom Brady. Now, I didn't understand Troy Aikman. Brady got hit on the hip, and they call a personal foul, roughing the passer, and it definitely hit him low. Like, that's definitely a penalty, and it was definitely late. He'd already let go of the ball, and here's Aikman defending the ref. Like, Aikman, what are you doing? If that was you, you would have been crying for a penalty too. I don't understand why Aikman is such a homer. He was a homer. He wanted to see Brady lose, so he was defending Philadelphia. Oh no, that was a terrible call. Yeah, and then the holding penalties. Those were good calls. I can't handle these analysts, Aikman and Collins. Now Collinsworth, kid out there. I don't like Collinsworth. What's this kid did? The kid didn't play. Why is this kid's interviewing people? It's really so hard to watch. But anyway, so those are the 4 superficial picks. So I like the dog in the Cincy, Tennessee. I like the over 47. The defenses are 22-21. Cincinnati is a good teaser play this year. The Niners, Green Bay, I think it's fairly even. I think Rodgers wins the game, but it wouldn't surprise me if the Niners won after winning in Dallas. I think over is a good play because I think Frisco with the running will score a lot and Rodgers will score a lot. Neither of the defenses are that dominant that you're looking at 41 points. You're looking at 24-20. I can't imagine Aaron Rodgers and this running of the Niners don't get you into the 40s. So those are really strong. Buffalo, KC, you keep going down unless there's an injury. We'll have to check the injuries and the COVID. I like Kansas City if they're getting 4.5 at home. Buffalo, I'm telling you, it was an emotional game. This is the Raiders, Miami, and here comes Pittsburgh. This is Buffalo, New England, and here comes Pittsburgh, only it's Kansas City this time. Waiting at home, and Kansas City's going to show you. And good luck stopping Mahomes at home. He's rolling. They put up 100 points on Pittsburgh. So they got their confidence going. So Buffalo's going to have a hard time winning here. Will it go over? It's a high over. And again, it's based on they both scored 40 points last week. Well, they're not playing Philly and Pittsburgh. They're not playing New England and Pittsburgh. They're not playing a terrible defense. They're playing Kansas City, and Kansas City's going to play good defense. You can't really stop Mahomes. So it's going to be a hard over. I think it will get there, but they're not going to be both in the 40s in an 80-point game. This isn't Miami of Florida against UCLA. This is a real, they're going to be a little nervous. This looks like the early game. No, this is the late game, so it'll be a little cold there. And then LA, Tampa, it's all Tampa Bay, Tom Brady. Over under 48, probably an over, but Stafford will throw 3 picks, probably a pick 6. Look for Tampa's aggressive secondary to blitz them. Stafford to turn the ball over. He's not going to sit there. Believe me, Cooper Kupp will not catch too many. He'll get 1 or 2 passes, but that's it. They're going to take him away. Good luck taking Gronk away. Good luck taking Evans away. And then they come up with all these little guys. So good luck. See, here's the difference between Tom Brady and everybody else. And this is what I already knew, but they said it on the telecast. Tom Brady goes up to the line of scrimmage. He knows where he's going with the ball before he gets the ball. All these other quarterbacks, except for A-Rod, Rodgers, and probably Mahomes, knows where they're going. Like Rodgers, I'm sure knows where he's going. When he gets to the line, I'm going to pick on that cornerback. I'm going to the safety. I'm going over. He knows where he's going also. Brady and Rodgers already know. That's why I pick on Tagliabue and even Josh Allen and Kyler Murray. They don't know where they're going. They sit there and then they look and the guy's open and then they throw it and then it's intercepted. intercepted because they waited 15 seconds to throw it. That's the difference. The guys like that, that's why you bet Brady. That's why you bet Rodgers. They know where they're going with the ball. Believe me, Garoppolo doesn't know. Allen has no idea. Burrow probably is close to it because of the training he had at LSU. Tannehill, no way. So if you look at the quarterbacks, you're betting Brady, you're betting Mahomes, you're betting Rodgers, and then you're probably betting Burrow. Those are your four best quarterbacks. At this point, that's the key because the defenses are strong. You're not going to score that much, but I definitely look at the Cincy game over, the Niner game over, the Rams just take Tampa, and then KC Buffalo. Unless there's an injury, if the game goes even, I'm taking KC and 6 so fast. I don't buy. Yes, Buffalo beat them on the Monday night. KC wasn't playing well, but KC just put up 42 points. Believe me, they're playing well, and they're going to carve up Buffalo, who's got a decent defense, playing Jacksonville, the Jets, Miami, New England, who doesn't score a lot. So their defensive numbers, like New England's used to be, where they played the Jets in Miami. I mean, there's just you got 6 games against teams that don't score. The Jets, Miami, and New England don't put up points. So that makes it 17. And then the Jacksonville game, how do you lose to Jacksonville? Okay, losing to Tennessee, losing to Indy, and losing to Pittsburgh. There's too many. Buffalo is not consistent enough. And again, Josh Allen runs too much. You don't have your quarterback run a sweep. What is this? That's not even college. They don't even do it in college. It's maybe Army, Navy. You just got to blitz him. If you put pressure on him first and do a Earl Campbell and just get up and get into. Don't let him fade back and then see the spotter on the left end because your left end's too stupid and he comes in instead of staying wide. He comes in and he just goes around and there's nobody there. What are these guys thinking? Who's it? Is that the defensive coordinator saying crash in on him? Where's the spy? The spy sits there. He's faster than the spy. What kind of spy do you got out there? I mean, it's just really pathetic coaching is what I'm seeing. But that's where it's headed. So it's probably going to be Green Bay and Tampa, and then probably KC, Cincinnati. Cincinnati, I can see beating Tennessee just because of Joe Burrow versus Tannehill. Henry, yes, but Cincinnati can take him away as long as they're not too injured on their defensive line. Cincy can play them, they can score on them. So I definitely see that. And I think that's how you break it down. Trend-wise, Tampa's a very good home favorite. KC's, we know, is good at home. And Green Bay, we know, is very good at home. So this playoffs becomes more of the home team wins a lot. When you get the good teams. Now it's your final 8. This is what week 1 should be. There's too many. You don't want 7 playoff teams. There's not 14 good teams that are good enough in the pros anyway. You always get your slaughters. But this week, now you got the better teams. And at home, believe me, Tampa, Green Bay win at home. KC wins at home. And the only one is Tennessee, where since you could get the road win, maybe Frisco. I doubt Buffalo. And there's no way the Rams are going to win in Tampa. So probably the Tampa game's the best just because everybody's going, wow, they beat Kyler Murray 31-11 with Kyler Murray throwing interceptions. So I don't really buy it. I just like Brady will pick them apart and that's it. So really the only way to beat Brady and Rodgers is to get a big rush. A big defense is going to beat them, and Frisco's got a decent defense. The Rams are okay, but not at home. Green Bay will be cold. The only way Frisco wins is they run it down their throat the whole game, like they did a couple years ago, and they control the ball. Which can they do that? But is Rodgers going to let them? Rodgers has to be just totally flat. But I can see Frisco controlling the ball for a while. Anyway, I think that's it. So pretty good. So that's it. We're down to 4, and then we'll have the final round and then the Super Bowl. So So it'll be interesting. Again, really the only surprise I saw last week was probably Buffalo scoring that much on New England, and and the Rams handling Arizona like they did. I thought that was surprising that Kyler Murray looked like a deer in the headlights, like he'd never played. And these coaches in their own end zone, they're throwing the ball, they're throwing in zone. Like, dude, you got to just do a little short pass, a little run, get out and punt. Like they don't want to punt. They think, oh well, we'll just throw every down and it'll be all of them will be complete. We won't throw an interception, even if we're in our own end zone. It's just mind-boggling. These are coaches. Nick, going to rewatch Buffalo KC game. KC offensive line not as good this year. Mahomes hasn't had a lot of time to throw. I thought their line was better this year than last year. Are you going to watch last year's playoff game? They move with the bad. The line that was okay in the Buffalo game was no good against Tampa last year. So yeah, I think they're okay for the Tampa. I don't know. Can Buffalo really make a difference in Kansas? If the game was in Buffalo, I'd give Buffalo a chance. But the game in Kansas City, so I'm not quite sure of your comment about their offensive line not as good this year when their offensive line was pretty banged up last year. And supposedly they got in some good players. I don't think Pittsburgh bothered Mahomes too much. So I'm not quite sure. Plus, Mahomes had the bad toe last year and was limping around. So he's healthy this year. The only problem is Chocolatey clears out with the collarbone. And now they're calling it a shoulder. So what is it? But they're okay without him. As long as they got Kelsey and Hill and everybody. So as long as it's healthy, I'm not sure why the line's dropping. I got to look for the injury. But if everybody's healthy, yeah, I'm taking Kansas City in 4.5. If there's injuries, then I'll have to adjust, and we'll get back to that. What's today? Wednesday, probably Friday or Saturday, maybe Friday night. I'll do it, but that's what I'm looking at. So, anyway, anything else? Comments, questions? Nick, I agree on the 550. So Nick's asking me to win the Super Bowl, and he said, "Well, I'll take Tampa plus 550," and I'm saying. There was a couple other teams that were like in the 400s. I said, we'll play all three of them because if you bet 100 to win 4 and 100 to win 5, as long as you got one of them left, you can't lose because then you just you're getting the odds. So if you got Kansas City, let's say you take Kansas City and you take Tampa, and then that's your Super Bowl. One of them's going to win. You're for sure going to win. And that's probably what I would do because KC's the 1 seed and Tampa doesn't matter. They'll beat anybody. So that's what you have. Here's my thought. Tampa wins this year. So now that's 2 in a row. Brady's going to stay one more year because nobody's won 3 Super Bowls in a row. And the only team that won 3 championships in a row was the Green Bay Packers, 65, 66, 67. And they didn't have the Super Bowl in 65. It came in 66. Well, that was Lombardi's last year. They won 3 in a row. So I can see Brady wanting to at least, if we win 2 in a row, be back next year for 3 in a row. I guarantee you he'll be back to try to win 3 in a row if he can win this. And so they just need to get some receiver play out of these backups for Godwin, and they're playing the tight ends. Fontenot doesn't matter if he played the running back looked fine who came in. Again, it's Brady. He knows, hey, my running back's going to work. I'm going to throw here. He knows where he's going with it. So therefore, it doesn't really. It's like just give him player, give him anybody. Hey, you come in. We need a running back. Come on in. Brady will tell you when he's going to give you the ball. I mean, it's just that's what it is. But I did watch the 49er Cowboy game, the catch game. And Montana threw like 5 interceptions in the game, and they still beat them. It was beautiful. But that's real football that back then, the catch game. But it's on YouTube. Just type in the catch, and it's the 81 championship game. And Dallas has a good team. And that's what I like about Montana. They beat a really good Dallas team. Not that great of a Cincinnati team. But so everybody says, who's the GOAT? And I'm like, well, who did Brady really beat? Okay, he lost to the Denver team that had a good defense. So that's why I say Montana, because he had to play the 84 Bears and Lawrence Taylor and all that. And Brady really never had to play those type of teams. Anyway, so I think that's it. It's I think go swim and work out and relax. But I think that's it. So if you have any questions, www.teaserking.com. You can email me and I will certainly respond. Ask Nick. But I think that's it. I think we have it. Again, just look at the games, forget the spread, pick the score. Once you can do that pretty well, then you've got most of it figured out. If you miss the scores, then ask, why did I miss it? So why did I miss Buffalo, New England? Well, because New England didn't show up and Buffalo scored 47 points, which you could never see coming, that Buffalo would keep scoring, right? But I did hit Oakland, Cincy, as it should, and Tampa Bay, Tom Brady. Dallas, Frisco, I bet against Dallas, and I had Frisco running the ball. That was a winner. Pitt, KC, I didn't really love it. I just took the 18.5 on principle. And if Pitt's receivers would have caught the ball early on, they had a 7-0 lead. It just pissed off Kansas City. And then the only game I missed badly was Arizona and the Rams, where I thought Kyler Murray, they played the Rams well. They're a good road dog. That's why I like them. Stafford never winning a playoff game. So I kind of looked at Arizona. I'm not sure they were going to win, but I had 10.5 points. And they're a good team. They're a B team. So I don't know. Oh, yeah, quickly. Cincy, Tennessee, both B teams. Green Bay's an A. Frisco's a B. Buffalo, KC, both A's. And Tampa is an A, and LA is a B team. So basically, A's over B's, Tampa Bay, Green Bay, and then Cincy, Tennessee's B against B, so it's a dog. And then Buffalo, KC, A against A would be a dog. But if this spread holds and there's no injuries, then I'm taking KC, and the 4.5's more deadly at home, taking KC in 4.5. And Buffalo in 7.5. KC could beat them because they know how to blitz Allen, and then Buffalo's done. So KC knows how to do it. They know to blitz him, and you give them credit, like what Miami did to Buffalo, I think, or whatever. Then when they put it in, I think Miami beat Buffalo, and they just blitzed them the whole game, and he couldn't. Oh no, that was Baltimore with Lamar Jackson, but it's the same concept. Any running quarterback, if you just blitz them, they can't. What are they going to do? They want to run. They don't know how to pass. So until Allen shows me he can really is Tom Brady and gets to the line and says, I'm going to hit the tight end in the middle and then get the ball and do it, until he gets to that level, he's not. He's okay. Anyway, I think that's it. www.teaserking.com. Comments, questions, whatever. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you for coming to the Teaser King Professor class, and have a great night. I'll try to be back Friday night or maybe Saturday morning to go through any injuries, line movements, things like that. All right, everybody. Thank you very much. Have a great night.